Hi, everyone, and welcome to the special simulcast, the Neil Haley Show and celebrity interviews live from the Grotto without Greg Hanna today. And my guests today are Jep and Jess. We're going to talk about Beyond the Bayou. We all know you from Duck Dynasty. Guys, thanks for stopping by. So my question for you guys, is this is just interesting, developing your own show and going all these things. So my first question for you guys is, for those just discovering you, what is Jep and Jess Beyond the Bayou, and how is it different from Duck Dynasty?
Oh, it's a lot different from Duck Dynasty. I think that you still have the same familiar faces. Our kids have grown up. There's new additions to our family, but you still have the same, laughter. There's a lot of laughter in there, a lot of reminiscing, and but it's taking us out of the bayou and taking us to hill country in Texas. Starting a new business with some partners over there called Mirador. We're building some really amazing, cool places that you're going to want to come visit. They actually launched September 1st. There's, I think, a waiting list now, but it's new businesses, ever-growing family, taking us out of our comfort zone of our little bayou bubble. But we made a lot of new friends, and so it's kind of faith, family, community.
That's fantastic. And I think that the cool thing is that you think about this. What's the difference from being in the Bayou to Texas? Can one of you guys can expound on that?
Um, it looks a lot different.
Yeah, it's
But it's funny doing these things. I think the people, that's what makes it
yeah.
fun, to be honest with you. Um, Weirdly enough, like I think coming up, I took my son out there fishing and my buddy and his son and it was terrific. And I thought, man, we got to go back out there because we're just fishing off the bank, And I was like, I think this place is really good. So me and Lance, who's on the show quite a bit, we went out there one evening, and I mean, wore them out. It was the most fun I've had in 10 years of fishing. I mean, I was like, we have discovered a treasure trove, which is so cool. That's what I mean. I think just getting outside, which is a lot of what the show's about, and kind of enjoying God's beauty, is like, man, you can discover some really neat places for sure.
So whose idea was it to put your own family front and center this time?
Oh, well, it actually just kind of came about. I
That's
feel like
right.
we were kind of talking about this idea with Lance, and then all of a sudden we met with Bill Abbott and Kate Holbrook from Great American Media, and we had worked with them on some other smaller projects that we kind of popped in and out of. But we just love everything they were doing. But they stand on faith and family and country, and we really just met with them because we wanted to work with them in some capacity. What could we do? Because we just want to get behind y'all. By the end of the lunch, they were like, "Well, we've never done a reality show or an unscripted show, but let's do it." And we were like, "Oh, we weren't even like, that wasn't the goal. Was to pitch any ideas. It was just talking family. We talked about life, and we did talk about the ranch and this vision and everything. Being new grandparents, how amazing that was. So." It really was. It just came about. It was organic.
But you had this experience from Duck Dynasty, so it was really easy to go right to your own show, right? In a lot of ways of
Sure.
understanding things.
Actually, yeah, we've done quite a few, well, I mean, a few
Yeah,
shows now. We did a show right after Duck Dynasty called Growing the
yeah.
Dynasty, Jep and Jess, and it
Kind
was
of
about,
parallel.
yeah, kind of paralleled, and it was, about adoption or,
Yeah, the first
adopted
season.
son, which is cool because in this first episode, he's 10 years old now,
Yeah.
and he's a big 10-year-old. Actually, he was practicing football last night. Let me tell you something. This boy is very good at football. So,
Really? Do you think he looking college football?
He plays all the sports, but man,
I'm a
he really
baseball fan, so
shines in
I'm
football.
more. I'm the mom. I like the baseball. He likes the football. So
Yeah, I'm working with a company that's looking at the NIL deals. Those are crazy, right? What's happening with the
Mhm.
NIL and stuff. We're about to launch something big with that to help parents navigate through that once they get to the college level and how they can name, image, likeness, and all the different challenges that are involved for families. It's a tough thing. And then when they get a big payday, how do they handle the tax situation with something like that as a college kid? So that's one of my projects. Jep, what's the one thing you hope people take away from the show?
Um, kind of faith, family, community. That's what we're trying to show. We are very faith forward on this show, which we actually super enjoy, and that's the way we live. Honestly, we're just keeping it very honest. I mean, we're just, this is what we're doing. This is how we're doing it. We're not trying to pretend. There's not a lot of drama on this show. It's a very clean show. What I get told more often than anything, I get stopped in airports, whatever they say, man, thank y'all for making shows that I can watch with my kids. I don't have to worry about changing the channel or fast forward and stuff. And it's very similar to that, even more so. It's great for kids to watch. So we're really proud of this one.
It sounds like it. And what do you think? So that hope. I'm going to ask the same question to you, Jess. What do you think is what you want people to take away from the show?
Yeah, I hope that people can kind of slow down, right? We're so busy. We're so busy. Kids and adults busy on their phones, scrolling, seeing it's constantly new images popping up, right? It's to be able to slow down and a simpler time, right? The ranch life is slower. It's slower paced. There's a lot going on out there, but there's a lot of fun, like where it's just we're outdoors, we're fishing, camping, doing playing cornhole, sitting outside and breathing and seeing the views and having a cup of coffee and actually looking at each other and talking, right? Things that we're so not used to doing anymore. So we're hoping that people can slow down, embrace that again with their families, see something that's kind of inspiring, hopefully, that, about walking in faith and family and building community wherever you are in life.
I think that's huge. And I think that's the thing that you put a stamp on the show. This is what I want for the show. And that's the important thing of brand. And how do you guys I know you're not looking at the whole Duck Dynasty family and saying, how are we going to put our, stamp on this? But it's ultimately the whole vision of the Duck Dynasty family is what your guys are trying to do in a lot of ways to continue that legacy in so many aspects. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, just that, like I said, with our faith, we want to point people,
Yeah.
to God and how good He is and what He's done through us. So, I don't really look at it in terms of how can I, make
Yeah.
myself bigger or whatever.
That's great.
It's not the way we see things.
Very humble. That's all I have to say, because that's the important thing. God provides once you're humble. When you're not, it's the wrong things happen. The right things are happening to you guys, and that's fantastic. And tell us about the business. So, what is the business in Texas that you're trying to build?
So we have some partners over there. We are building these unique stays. I'm sure that you kind of seen some sneak peeks. These are actually tangible places you can come visit. I mean, it kind of feels like you're in I feel like I feel like I'm in Narnia. Like
Oh,
there's exotic animals out there. So you can get out there and you can fish and you can hike and you can see these amazing, beautiful, exotic animals. You can see turkeys roaming in your yard in the mornings and hear them at night before you go to bed. And so just the environment is so beautiful, but these unique stays are pretty special. And this is just the beginning. I think there's a huge waiting list. It launches on September 1st where you can actually book a place to come stay out there. And so I can't wait for
fantastic.
people.
We're in Texas for people to know. Where is it?
It's kind of right in between Abilene and Fort Worth.
Okay.
So
It's
yeah.
literally, it's about, yeah, I think it's like 35 minutes from Weatherford. So,
Okay.
I'll, and I think it's
Yeah.
Thurber is the exit, the
See,
Thurber
I lived
exit.
in Plano and Keller, so for 2 years, so I'm familiar with that Texas area, and I'm going to be out in Texas. Some of my clients, so I'll have to definitely hit you guys up. I have one question. You guys can answer it as a couple. I think this is going to be a best. My co-host isn't here, but he asked a very deep question. So, what is the most important thing in life you ever learned? And you can answer both of it together or one at a time.
I feel like, I mean, obviously our faith in Jesus is the glue that has held our marriage together. We're celebrating 25 years in October. And whether it's, raising children, being there for each other as friends as well as a husband and wife, guiding us as a daughter, and a sister and a friend. I would say that's who we go to, and who we surrender, Our hearts.
I would 100% agree with that, but I'll also say this. My dad, it's funny because I think Dwight Schrute said this on The Office, but my dad said it originally. He would say, "Don't be an idiot." And I really try to, I look at stuff and I'm like, okay, well, don't be an idiot,
Yeah.
So
It's the Robertson humor.
that's
I love it.
something I
That's
try to-
great, guys. And we could check this out at Great American Family, right? It's available now, the series.
Yeah, Great American Pure Flix on Thursdays as a drop, and then on Saturdays, Great American Family and GFAM Plus.
All right. Well, best of luck to you guys. I'm gonna definitely have to look up what you're doing in Texas when I'm out there, and I'll hit you guys up. Appreciate it. Thanks again.
Thanks.
All right. You're listening and watching the special simulcast, the Neil Haley Show, and the celebrity interviews live from the Grotto. Greg Hannah does. Take care.